Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be a hero guide on a hero that used to be extremely good, then fell off, and now I think he's gaining a lot of value again, which is Zitlin. Zitlin is one of the heroes in the game that has a very unique trait. He's one of a kind, which is always cool in a hero. You know, there's plenty of heroes in the game that all have similar abilities and things of that nature, but Zitlin is unique. So he's got two things that are unique about him. The first one is his trait. So he has this unremovable buff, which is always good, called Delay Fate. Now, if you have him ascended, he's an old school hero, so you only need to have him A2 to get his effects. He has Delay Fate 2, which I have. And what this does is it gives your entire team 20% accuracy and precision. So this is more of a skill for arena, PvP kind of stuff, which he can be used on for like arena offense. This is also pretty viable in some of the bounties within the game, but this is more so for PvP modes. The thing is, this accuracy stat is something that you can't even see here in the actual stats. It's kind of this phantom stat that has to deal with dodge. So there's a couple people in the game that have dodge, but if you have accuracy, the likelihood of you hitting those heroes is increased. So it's kind of an interesting thing. And then precision, which is something that has become more and more important in arena modes. It does seem that agility is kind of relevant. There's been a lot of times where I've weak hit because I do not have enough precision on my heroes. So there are times where precision comes in handy to help, weak affinity heroes be able to crit more often. So that's where Zitlin could be used in regards to his trait. Now, he has a basic ability which is irrelevant, giving precision down on something. I guess it could be useful in arena as well, to make sure that those heroes that are attacking you have a better chance of weak hitting or deflecting. So I guess I should say it's irrelevant, but it's it's not used very much in the setting that Zitlin is used. He's more of a PvE hero. He does have this passive, which wasn't that great in the past, but now it's extremely good in the Rift of Chaos Earth boss. And I'll get into that a little more. But his passive grants this shield before before a team member takes damage. It doesn't say how big the shield is. It does seem negligible, not very relevant, but every bit helps, I guess, in those Rift of Chaos dungeons. And then he has this 30% of damage received is converted into heal over time for one turn and can only be triggered once per turn. Now, this heal over time is actually really, really impressive healing, and I'll show you that here in a second. But the Earth boss in Rift of Chaos, once you get to stage 5, you can't heal your other allies. So people like Florence or Mathasia, any of those heroes that heal your entire team actually don't work. But Zitlin's passive gets around that. This heal over time just counts as a buff that is tied to that individual ally of yours. So it doesn't count as Zitlin healing them. I hope that makes sense. So this passive has become really, really relevant in the Earth boss, and I'm sure it's going to be even more relevant as the dungeons progress. Okay, and this is Zitlin's, bread and butter. He has this ultimate ability that says deals 100 damage to an enemy and applies Curse to them for two turns. Now, the description on Curse is really interesting. It says, for the duration of this effect, 100% of damage taken by this character is taken at the time of tallying. That makes absolutely zero sense. But what this means is whenever Zitlin puts this curse up on someone, right? Whenever he puts it up on an enemy, any damage that enemy takes while this curse is up, after it has, after the curse debuff has expired, all of the damage that that person took prior to the curse being on is then duplicated. So we'll show that. But that's what the actual description of curse is. Once curse is up, all the damage that that enemy takes is then duplicated by the amount that they actually took while this curse was up. It's hard to explain through words, so I'll show you in practice. So here is the way that I have Zitlin built right now. This is specifically for the Earth Chaos boss, okay? He has very high health because I want him to be the target of the Earth boss. His speed is okay. It's fast enough. He has just enough focus to land his curse, and I have his resistance really high because the Earth boss also stuns the ally that you have with the highest health at the beginning of the turn. So you need to have enough resistance so he doesn't get stunned. Okay? I have him in just speed, gear, and then some random pieces here and there just to make the health and speed work for my comp. His glyphs actually give him 31 speed, which is really nice, and a decent amount of resistance, which is also very good. So pretty cool stuff. And then for his ascensions, he does get basic health on his first ascend. He does get that delay fate 2 that I mentioned, and then speed on the third one, defense, and then attack. So I'd say you probably only need to get up to ascend 3. It's kind of negligible. If you're running him just for PvE content, you don't even need to ascend him. This health obviously helps whenever you're trying to do the build that I'm doing, where he needs to be the highest health within your team. But just wanted to mention that. So for his masteries, he actually gets 30% focus. This is usually a bad mastery tree, but it's kind of relevant for Zitlin, especially for these Earth bosses in the Rift of Chaos, because you want more resistance on him, and then the focus might be harder to get. So maybe, you know, that 30% focus does come in. And then this is completely negligible. So I think what you're going to be aiming for, if you're going to need books on Zitlin, the higher up you go in these Earth dungeons, you're probably just going to try and get this 30% focus, health, and defense. And then obviously the gear, but you don't want to touch this ability tree. At least I don't think you do. Yeah, it doesn't. If this reduced the cooldown on this ability, then it'd be relevant. This might be relevant, but man, wasting books to try and get 5% more healing would feel really bad. So, yeah, I just want to take him for a spin here, and I'll show you what I mean with his curse ability, okay? So I use this team right now in Earth Titan 4. Really consistent team. It does require, you know, some pretty good gear and books and ascensions. You know, we all know the issues with these dungeons, but thankfully they're going to be nerfing this here. Again, hopefully the nerf works this time. But what I'm doing here is I'm just going to increase the damage of my team members. I'm going to have Rosalie do a lot of damage. And then what we're going to see here is Zitlin is going to put up his curse ability, right? So you'll see it marked with this little skull. It'll be right at the beginning of this person's health bar. So there it is. So these two curses, right? So right now, the boss hasn't taken a whole lot of damage. But starting from now, whatever damage he takes from 309k onward, once this expires, will be duplicated. So we'll see this here in a second. So Rosalie goes in, does these big attacks. Geralt goes in as well, does a little bit of chip damage. And then the boss goes. And then we do big counter attacks. Right? Okay. So now, you know, we just keep doing damage. And you'll see here, The boss is going to do some big damage to Zitlin with his max HP. But we're taking him down even more. Garrel's going to go. Okay, so here, right now, we've taken down the boss, pretty good. It was like 309 to now 240. Once the boss goes and attacks Zitlin, you're going to see a little white number pop up on the boss, and that is Zitlin's curse ability proccing. You'll see this health bar drastically go down. This is why a lot of teams are using Zitlin if people aren't aware of this. Right here, see? 723,000. It's a crazy number, right? So that's Zitlin's main focus right now. He's even used in the Water Chaos boss. He's used in the Earth Chaos boss. He can also be used in dungeons. He used to be, like I said, one of the main heroes in those dungeons for speedruns, because it's the same exact thing, kind of, where you're using speed teams taking down the boss's health to half, and then it would proc and kill them right away. Let's see if I can get a team. I'm usually not good with this on the fly, as I'm not very good at PvE content. But because my Zitlin is too slow, maybe this will work. Let's see if this works. There he is. Okay. So Zitlin is going to have his cursed recharge whenever we get to Ash here. And hopefully we do enough damage to the boss to have that curse proc where we can kill him. We might die because of the little minion characters, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I've never run this. I'm just trying to give you the idea of what Zitlin does in regards to his curse. So here you'll see his curse go up right there, and then Opal does her thing, doing decent damage. I don't have a attack down on a hero. Oh yeah, so this I don't know if this is going to work or not, because all these little minions are chipping my team down. Yeah. No dice. And I definitely didn't do enough damage, but you saw the proc there. So yeah, if I if I knew how to build teams, you get the idea. This would be one of those things where Zitlin you're able to do enough damage to the boss where he doesn't even get a turn, and Zitlin's curse just kills him in one turn. But like I said, I can't build teams. So anyway, that is the little showcase on Zitlin from a PvE perspective. I will show you what he does in Arena. I think if we can find just a relevant team, like I said, I don't have my team speed tune, but ideally, and we don't even have a relevant team here. Ideally, oh, actually, here you go. So Lydia, right? Lydia has this dodge ability, and all Zitlin would do is he would come in here and he would give your team that boosted accuracy, which is that phantom stat, as well as precision. So right now, my Nero does not have a whole lot of precision on him, which is something where he could weak hit against Mathasia. And Zitlin will give him additional precision, 20%, as soon as we come into this fight. So that's going to help him not weak hit, and it also, with the accuracy boost, is going to allow us to have a better chance to hit Lydia, right? So those are the two benefits from Zitlin being in this team, as well as Baron given an additional chance to either strong hit against Brand and have a better chance of hitting Lydia. So I'm not going to give them a huge boost just because I want to see if we can avoid the dodge from Lydia, as well as maybe not weak hitting against Brand with that precision and accuracy boost. Okay, see, so those were all critical hits, and Lydia did not dodge at all. And I could have got lucky, but it also could have had something to do with Zitlin's accuracy and precision boost. So that's how he can be relevant here. He used to be one of the main people that would help you beat Lydia in arena offense, but now there's just tons of ways to beat dodge heroes. So I did just want to show that real quick, though. But that's all I got, guys. Just a quick little video on Zitlin. He's definitely becoming more relevant nowadays because of these Rift of Chaos dungeons. He's still viable in regular dungeons if you're looking for speed teams. If you're missing specific heroes like Florence and Shane, there are plenty of Zitlin comps out there. So yeah, really relevant hero. Doesn't really need books. He's used for that, curse ability, and that's about it. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.